Hey everyone, and welcome back. I'm Anton, and in today's video, we'll be taking a look at the entirety of Fighters Pass 2. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's DLC has finally concluded, and with that, we'll be examining the full pass and determining whether or not it's worth it. Anyways, before we begin, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see future videos heading your way, and let's get started. So, starting off with the pass, we have Min Min from ARMS. She kicked off the Fighters Pass and was a great choice. I remember thinking quite heavily about which ARMS character they were going to pick, as Ribbon Girl and Springman already had representation within the game, and I thought they were probably the best pick as they're on the box art of ARMS. But honestly, I was really happy with Min Min, and it was cool to see ARMS finally represented in the game, as it sold extremely well for a new Nintendo IP, and it deserved full representation. Min Min plays very well. Just like in the game she originates from, she uses her springy arms to fight opponents across the stage. She's a very unique fighter and plays nothing like any of the characters in the game. You can change her second arm, which allows you to have different abilities, and her grab works really well as you use both arms, and it's honestly really satisfying to do. The stage Min Min comes with is the Spring Stadium. It's kind of weird since it would have been fitting to see Min Min's own stage from the game, but this is probably the most recognizable stage from the ARMS series in general. But the stage has trampolines that launch you upwards, and overall it looks really nice. Additionally, as part of all of the fighter passes and challenger packs, you get spirits, and this one comes with the ARMS spirits, as ARMS spirits were already present in the base game. And there's a great selection of music tracks as well, and ARMS has a fantastic soundtrack, and these sound great when in battle, and honestly they fit in Smash Bros. So well that I'm surprised they weren't included with the base game. Now we're going to take a look at the next character, and this is my personal favorite inclusion of all of the DLC fighters, and that character is Steve. This character had me screaming from the reveal trailer, and honestly it still feels surreal. Masahiro Sakurai did an excellent job as always to make this character play extremely faithfully to the source material. Steve is able to grab materials throughout the stage, craft more powerful weapons with a crafting table, and then also use a bunch of other moves. Each reference in every single move is so well thought out, and it's astonishing to see how much attention to detail they put into the moveset. Especially if you played Minecraft for a very long time, you will absolutely be amazed with all the little things that they decided to put in. The minecart, TNT, fishing rod, magma block, that is sometimes a really annoying move. And yes, building, because you can actually place blocks around the stage. The engineering that must have gone into making this even work is crazy, as Masahiro Sakurai said that they had to rework every single stage in the entire game to get Steve to actually function how they wanted him to. And it's absolutely amazing, because they went above and beyond for this character. They pulled everything off so well. And just seeing Steve on the character selection screen is just a dream come true. Not only do you have Steve to play as, but Alex, Zombie, and Enderman are also included as skins. And technically Alex is treated as another character, as they both are actually getting amiibo, which is just beautiful. I need them all right now. And oh yeah, the stage is fantastic. It has 6 different variants, which all take place in different biomes. Again, like the fighter, there is just so much attention to detail. And the way the mobs in the background behave, the lighting, the represented features from the Village and Pillage update, and just how close it looks to actually Minecraft that you could probably trick someone. It's so well done. And the blocks on the playfield are also breakable, which honestly adds to the immersion. In terms of music, the C4AT music isn't included, but they still did a great job at creating remixes of many Minecraft tunes. My personal favorite is Halland / Dallarna, I think that's how it's pronounced. Basically the one used in the reveal trailer. It sounds nothing like its original from Minecraft Dungeons, but it fits the character and stage so well. You also get a very cool final smash, a great selection of spirits, and a cute Kirby. I mean, what's not to love? So that's why I would recommend getting this challenger pack above any other. With everything on offer, it will definitely add lots of great content to your game. If you're a fan of Minecraft, this is just a must-have. Now, when it comes to Final Fantasy content in Smash, it hasn't been all that great. Cloud brought 2 music tracks to the game, a great stage, and no spirits or anything else. You could tell it was a struggle to include content due to Square Enix's troubling history. However, Sakurai managed to fix this with Sephiroth's inclusion. Now we've got a bunch of Final Fantasy spirits, and Cloud was also given his actual render as a spirit. That was actually really cool to see. And now we finally got more music tracks with some arrangements as well. It'd been cool to see maybe another Final Fantasy character, but that may be stretching things a bit too far. Sephiroth plays very well. He has an ominous feel and is able to do some really cool moves. He's definitely a heavier character, a bit slower, but does have very powerful attacks, which is pretty fitting for the character. There are lots of references to Final Fantasy VII, and his taunts look very cool. To convey the sort of villain he is, Nintendo did a cool event where you could acquire him early by defeating him in a challenge mode. But let me just say that Final Smash definitely creates a great villainous picture. This also led to me playing Final Fantasy VII for the first time. It was on sale on the Nintendo Switch during this time, so I picked it up. I really enjoyed my time playing it, and I'm not sure if I would have actually made the push to do so without Sephiroth's inclusion. In the first Nintendo Direct, after a long while, the character revealed right at the start was Pyro. It seemed that Sakurai really wanted to include content from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, just like ARMS, as they were both titles that they were only able to include spirits from, but ARMS did get an assist trophy as it was released way before Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Anyways, without Rex from her side, Pyro finally joins the battle, alongside her other persona, Mithra. They are a 2-in-1 character, meaning that they both have very different movesets, and you're able to switch between them at a press of a button. They both behave differently, and it's really fun to plan out strategies between them. Pyro and Mithra add something to the roster that was removed since Super Smash Bros. Melee, as Zelda and Sheik played very similarly. If you're playing as Pyro and Mithra, you'll probably enjoy your time, but if you are playing against them, you'll probably be very angry at Photon Edge. But overall, they are really cool additions to the game. The stage is really cool, as it's basically the beginning of Xenoblade 2, and the party members appear in the background. There were a few Xenoblade Chronicles 2 tracks in the base game, so it was nice to see the track selection increased, and I'm really glad that they added the Torna battle theme as that song. That's just a bop. If you haven't heard that before, I recommend you do so immediately. More spirits have also been added to the game, and I like the additions, as there were a few included in the base game. And just like Sephiroth, after the DLC was released, I ended up actually playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and even the Torna prequel story, as I've actually had played Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition prior. And now I'm waiting for the third Xenoblade game. Hopefully that gets announced at some point. Next we move on to the character which I know the least about, and that is Kazuya. This character is from the Tekken series, and he's one of the main characters. I'm surprised that the series took so long to get into Super Smash Bros., as the IP is owned by Bandai Namco, who has worked on the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and for Wii U and 3DS games. There is even a Heihachi costume in both Ultimate and for Wii and 3DS, so yeah, it's kinda strange that it took so long for a Tekken rep. I would say that this is my least favorite character, not because of the way he was included. I just had no knowledge about the Tekken series, aside from playing Pokken Tournament a few years back, which, yeah, it was not too long ago that I found out it was actually associated with Tekken at all. So yeah, my relationship with the series is just like Fatal Fury, which, yeah, is quite non-existent. However, I still do like the inclusion, as I do believe that Tekken was well needed in the game. Overall, Kazuya plays really well. I like how he has a ton of different moves, and it's cool to see how faithful his moves are to the actual Tekken games. You can tell a lot of detail was added into the character, although I don't really get some of the moves, as, you know, I haven't actually played Tekken before, but I really do like the different moves that they put in these fighting characters, and there's so much to master. So if you've actually played Tekken, you know, it might be really interesting to go into Smash Bros. And see how the moves differ and stuff. It's really cool that they added Kazuya, and of course, you have a cool stage and music selection. Even if I don't personally have a connection to any of them, they're still really cool. There is also a nice amount of spirits, and it's neat to see Street Fighter, Fatal Fury, and Tekken characters fighting each other. Finally, but certainly not least, is the character that everyone thought would be the most unlikely to even have a shot in getting in the game. And that character is Sora from the Kingdom Hearts series. So yeah, and then the characters I don't really see happening, or that I don't really want too much, is I don't really want Sora too much. I don't know, the whole Disney concept with him just doesn't make him feel like a good candidate for Smash Bros. Personally. What is happening? Oh! Yeah, I did not think he had a chance, but here he is, and he's been added to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And honestly, coming from someone who doesn't know much about Kingdom Hearts, I think he's a great character to end off the DLC. I think they did an excellent job with Sora's implementation. I wonder how the deal went to get Disney to actually agree to put Sora in the game. I wouldn't imagine it'd be too difficult, but it probably wouldn't have been extremely easy, as there were rumors a while back that they did try to get Sora, but Disney was kind of against it. I wonder if they kind of came to agreement to not include Disney content, because that's exactly what they did, and even if he doesn't come with the Disney content, I'm actually kind of glad they took this approach, as Smash Brothers is all about video game series crossing over, and Disney representation would just not fit in at all. It would just be odd, and that's how I kind of felt for a very long time. That's why I never thought he'd actually get into the game, but a lot of his moves are really cool, and especially with combos, feels like a character that once you master, he'll be really fun to use. Although some of his moves did take me a while to kind of understand, but his taunt is really cool as well. I like how they actually cycle through different ones like fire and lightning and ice. The stage looks really cool, but I would have preferred something else in the series. Something a bit more like brighter and colorful. I don't know. Something about the stage just doesn't really feel like it could have been the best choice. And he brought a bunch of cool spirits and music tracks. He's a really cool character though, and I'm really glad they added him. And as he was the most voted character in the Fighters ballot a long time ago, it's really cool to see them finally implementing him. And I think it's the fitting character for the end of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's DLC. Many of the characters will come down to personal preference. If you dislike most of the characters here, you may want to buy the ones that you want individually. But if you do buy the pass, you do get the Ancient Gear Mii costume as a bonus. So that is pretty cool, and you might want to consider that. But if you are interested in just Steve, for example, you might want to just buy him separately. That's what I would say. I think Steve is the most valued character in here, as he brings the most to the game with his stages, his technically 4 characters, and he also comes with a great variety of music. So I would say if you are thinking about getting a character, Steve is the one I would recommend. But if you are interested in a variety of the characters, you might want to think about getting all of them. So that's my advice when coming to the Fighters Pass, but I think each character here was really well put together. I think they represented all the fighters here that they needed to. They did Xenoblade 2, they did ARMS, they did more Final Fantasy 7 content, which was really neat. They finally did a Tekken character, they had Kingdom Hearts, and of course Minecraft as well. So I think they did a really good job with the Fighters Pass. And honestly, if you do buy the characters, it's just kind of cool to see all the fighters on the stage select screen, and sometimes it's just amazing to just view it and see all of the work that has been put into this game. And before we conclude the video, I want to say a big thank you to Mr. Sakurai for everything he has brought to the game. He did everything he needed to do to make this game truly the ultimate Smash Brothers and the biggest video game crossover of all time. We've got Disney, Microsoft, Bandai Namco, Konami, Capcom. We've got all of these publishers and developers here, and it's just amazing to see this massive crossover with all of these cool series and all of these very cool characters included. So thank you, Sakurai, and please go take a break now or work on Kid Icarus Uprising 2. Anyways, that's about it for the video. I hope you did enjoy it, and make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like as well. Why not? What do you think about Fighters Pass 2, and which fighters do you like the most and are happy that they are included? Let me know. And with that, I will see you all in the next one.